How's everybody doing, and welcome back to my channel for a brand new video. And today we'll be learning how to play as Heihachi Mishima in Tekken 8. This will be an introductory lesson on Heihachi where I will cover core elements of his gameplay as well as other practical aspects of his character that will help you get started with him. So what type of character is Heihachi? As far as he goes, he's considered the aggressive Mishima. He has powerful moves that deal massive damage, quick pokes that allow you to start getting pressure and momentum, and he also has a lot of safe mid attacks that help him out. In terms of movement, it's not that bad. His sidestep gets the job done. He has a decent enough backdash that of course allows you to get away from the opponent when needed, and to close the distance between opponents he does have a wave dash, which is typical of any Mishima character. In Tekken 8, he does have a new level up system. So if you look below his life bar, there's a grayed out gauge. And what this does is that upon heat activation, as you can see right there, it starts to glow and you see the level 1. Heihachi can go up to level 3. Now, when Heihachi has 3 levels, he can activate what is known as Warrior Instinct. This is a powerful technique that can only be done once per match, and it allows access to, well, it changes the properties of already existing moves. It gives them more damage, gives them reversal break properties, some become instant tornado launchers, so it's something to keep in mind, and it can be activated by pressing 1+4, just like that. We'll cover this more in detail later, but just keep this in mind. Before we go into his key moves, let's take a look at his stances first, because they will come up as we move along this guide, and it's good to know what you're working with. Down 1+2, this is called Fujin stance. Forward 3+4, this is Raijin stance. In Fujin stance, he has the following moves. Fujin 1-1, this is a heat engager. Fujin 1-2, high mid natural combo. Fujin 2, this is an instant tornado attack. Fujin 3-4. Fujin 4, low stomp. From Fujin stance, you can also press down forward, just like that, and it will allow you to go into a crouch dash. And of course, when you're in crouch dash, it allows you to have access for moves that are tied into that crouch dash motion, such as electrics or hell sweep. From this stance, he also has throws. So you go into stance, press 1+3, he goes for that headbutt throw, or 2+4, same deal. Now the thing about these throws is that if they come from stance, they cannot be broken. So your opponent has to anticipate it, duck, and punish accordingly, because once they're in your grab, just like that, they cannot do anything about it. When Heihachi has heat activated, if he goes into stance and does his throw, it automatically goes into his Raijin stance, just like that. And of course, this allows you to continue your offense. In Raijin stance, he has the following moves. Raijin 1, mid attack. Raijin 2. This move allows you to go for a combo on normal hit. Something like that. If your opponent is blocking and you get Raijin 2, it acts as a guard break, as you can see right there. And what this means is that if you get that move as a guard break, it allows you to get a free 1-1-2 after. So guard break, right? And then you're going to follow it up with 1-1-2, just like that. So you go into Raijin stance, 2, guard break, 1-1-2. Raijin 3, mid. You used to kind of maybe catch your opponent off guard, but you'll primarily be using this at the end of a combo at the wall. Raijin 4, hell sweep. And from this stance, he also does have an unbreakable throw, 1+3, just like that. Or same deal, 2+4, same throw. Now let's go on to the key moves, starting with down forward 1. This is a quick mid poke, and it does have an extension, down forward 1-1. This is a 2-hit combo natural for 18 damage. This is something that you're going to be using a lot. It's going to be one of your main poking tools. One thing I should mention, just a word of caution, is that down forward 1-1 is a mid-high. So if your opponent blocks it, if they're sharp enough, they're going to be able to duck it, just like that, as you can see. However, this is one of those moves where people aren't aware of that fact, and I don't know why I'm saying this on video, but many people don't know, or they're too slow to react, especially in the heat of a battle. It's one of those moves where it's really difficult to duck it, believe it or not. So basically what I'm saying is that keep using down forward 1-1 as a poke. And also good news for you, Heihachi does have an option to cover people who are ducking that move. That means you hit them with down forward 1-2, just like that. As you can see, that's a mid-mid. So what you want to do is you want to mix up down forward 1-1 with down forward 1-2 to keep your opponent guessing. You know, you want to make sure you never get too predictable. Down forward 1-2 can also be charged, just like that. Also, if you release the button at the perfect time when he's charging, you'll get a blue spark variation of it. And if you're at the wall, a full charge is going to allow you to get a wall splat, just like that. Up forward 2-1. This is a 2-hit combo for 36 damage, and it's also a heat engager. If you're at the wall, this move also wall splats. It's also not that bad on blocks. So for example, if that string gets blocked, it's only -11, which means you're not going to get hurt too bad if your opponent does block it. Down 1-2. This is a safe mid natural combo that can go into Raijin stance by pressing forward. Just like that. Down 1-2 also has pretty decent reach. So as you can see, I'm quite far away from the opponent, but down 1 is going to hit. And of course, you can follow it up with the 2. What you always want to keep in mind is that if down 1-2 hits your opponent, you can go into stance and force your opponent to guess your next move. So upon hit, you go into stance, and then from here, your opponent's in a guessing game. What are you going to do? They have to guess what you're going to do. Are you going to go mid, or are you going to go low from here? Use that to your advantage. Forward 1+2. Mid attack, heat engager. On block, it's safe. It also has pretty good reach as well, so you're here, forward 1+2. As you can see, back 2. This is another key move that you gotta keep in mind. It leaves you at an advantage on hit and on block, just like that. This move can also be charged up, so if you charge it up fully, just like that, it knocks down your opponent, and you're allowed to get a free follow-up, such as forward 2. Back 2 also has frame perfect inputs as well, so if you release the button at the right time when it's charging, you'll get a blue spark variation, just like that. He also has a gold spark variation of it, but you gotta be picture perfect on that one. Back 4. This move right here is honestly one of the best moves that Heihachi has, and this is why. To start off, it's a mid attack. If you're at the wall, it wall splats. It is safe on block. It does chip damage. It tracks to Heihachi's weak side. And on top of that, it has decent reach. So I'm right here, right? I'm right here. Back 4. Look at that. And to make things even sweeter, it has counter hit properties, allowing you to get a full combo. If that doesn't make a good move, I don't know what does. However, with how good this move is, there is in fact a flaw to it. So if you whiff the move, look at the recovery on it. See how much recovery time there is on that? So that leaves you open to any attack. So keep that in mind. If you whiff back 4, you're essentially gonna die and you're gonna get lodged. Look at that. One thing I recommend is that if you have your opponent against the wall, you can use a combination of back 4 and back 2 to bully your opponent. Don't forget about the full charge. Do something like that, right? Forward 3, safe mid attack that gives a launcher on hit. Forward 3 is a mid attack. It took a little bit of hit from the previous game because in the previous game, Tekken 7, if you got this move, it would knock down. In this game it doesn't, but you can go into stance after it by pressing down, which allows you to continue offense. Forward 4, this is Heihachi's axe kick, and this is one of those moves that's very good to do up the wall. The idea here is that you want to make your opponent duck, anticipating low. So let's say you're pressuring your opponent at the wall, you see him duck, hit him with forward 4. Now, after you hit your opponent in a crouching status with forward 4, you get a free follow-up, down forward 3, 1+2, 1. So let me show you. Just like that. Forward 4 also allows Heihachi to go into stance by pressing down after it, as you can see. So another thing you can do is that if you catch a crouching opponent with forward 4, you can go into stance and then go into Fujin 2, so watch. And essentially what you get there is a full combo starter. Other things you can do on a crouching opponent after this move is down forward 1-2, so forward 4, down forward 1-2, 3 hit, 41 damage, and forward 4, down forward 2-1. And how can we forget Electric Wind Godfist? It's a staple of Mishima characters. Now the question I get a lot is it required to learn electrics to play as Heihachi? Well, the answer has two parts, and hear me out on this. No, you are not required to learn electrics in order to play Heihachi. You can still succeed with him. However, you will not be able to play him to his full potential without learning how to properly do electrics. What this means is that if you cannot do electrics right away, that's no problem. It really isn't. No problem at all. One move shouldn't prevent you from learning how to play a character. What I recommend is that you learn how to play as Heihachi normally, practice electrics on the side, and eventually as time goes on, you'll be able to do them on command. It's a hard input, so don't beat yourself up over it. Moving on to key low moves. So in Tekken, Heihachi's weakness has always been that he doesn't have very good lows, and that's more or less the same in this game. Regardless of that, he does have a handful of low attacks that he should be doing. Starting off with down back 2. He's had this move forever, right? This is one of his signature low attacks. It has very good reach, as you can see. It does good damage at 25. And, you know, this is one of those moves that you should be abusing a lot. The only downside is that it is launch punishable on block. But again, it's one of those moves where just because it's true that you can be launched for it, it doesn't mean that you have to stop using it. In fact, keep using this move until your opponent shows you that they can block and launch accordingly. This move comes out fast enough that not many people are going to be able to duck and launch on reaction. Down back 3. This is a quick low poke, not much else to it. The reach is not very good, as you can see, but on block it's only -13, so if somebody blocks this move, you're not going to eat too much damage unless you're fighting someone like Eddie, who can launch at 13 frames. But all in all, just a standard blow, keep it in mind. Fujin 4, low stomp from stance, and it also has counter hit properties as well. Crouch dash 3. So this move right here is a low attack from the crouch dash, as you saw. And if you manage to connect this, you can actually get a free forward forward 2 follow-up. So let me show you. So crouch dash 3, low attack, forward forward 2. 2-hit combo, 41 damage, all guaranteed. Full crouch down forward 4. This is a move that knocks down only on clean hit. So if I'm far away and I get that move, it's only going to stagger Heihachi, right? As you saw, he didn't fall over, right? But if I'm up close and personal like this and I get the move, then you get a knockdown. And if you do get a knockdown, you can follow it up with forward forward 2, just like that. Full crouch down forward 4 is one of those moves where you gotta mix it up with other while standing moves. So for example, one thing I like to do, one thing that's gonna be useful is you're in this crouching position, right? So from here, you can either go low or you can go mid with a while standing 1. Both attacks get you a free follow-up upon hit. So if you go for a while standing 1, QCF 2, 2-hit combo, 41 damage. You get the low, forward forward 2 for a guaranteed follow-up. So kind of mix it up like that when you use full crouch down forward 4. And of course, Hell Sweep. This is a staple move for all Mishima characters. Now the unique thing about Heihachi is that his Hell Sweep only knocks down if the second hit connects. So for example, if you're playing Kazuya, the moment the first sweep hits, you're already airborne. But for Heihachi, you gotta do the second one. See? Just like that. So let's talk about Warrior Instinct. As mentioned in the beginning, this is a special technique that can be used only one time per match. And in order to use it, you have to have a level 3 count. Once you have this available, you can activate Warrior Instinct with 1+4, just like that. When activating Warrior Instinct, it creates recoverable health, has a reversal break effect, but it cannot KO, similar to Heat Burst. So let's say your opponent is at 1 pixel and you activate it. This will not KO them. Warrior Instinct changes the properties of certain moves, such as the damage output, giving them a reversal break effect, as well as allowing chip damage to be possible. Here are the moves affected by Warrior Instinct. 1-1-2. More damage, knocks down further, and has chip damage on block. 1 back 2-2. Chip damage on block, reversal break effect, does more damage. 1+2. Chip damage on block. Down forward 2-1. This becomes an instant tornado move with Warrior Instinct activated, especially if you manage to punish a move that's -13. 4-4-2. More damage, chip damage on block as well. 4-4-3. Chip damage on block. Warrior Instinct also changes the properties of Hell Sweep on block. So if I am just in a normal state, if Hell Sweep gets blocked, as you can see, it staggers, which means that my opponent can launch me. Just like that, right? Now with Warrior Instinct activated, look what happens. See? The first hit did not stagger, so that is huge. Keep that in mind because it's going to be key to your gameplay. Also in Warrior Instinct, Fujin 2 gets powered up as well, and the same goes for Raijin 1. Heihachi's heat engagers are the following. Back 1+2 can also be used to parry mid and high attacks. 4-4 1+2. Up forward 2-1. QCF2. Fujin 1-1. When Heihachi has heat activated, electrics are easier to do. So as you can see right here, I do not have heat activated, so if I want to do an electric, I gotta be perfect. Same goes for Omen Thunder God Fist. See the blue spark variation? And that's the normal one. When you activate heat, electrics can be done just out of a basic crouch dash. Watch. See, I'm not doing a perfect input there, but I still get electrics. And the same goes for Omen Thunder God Fist. See, just basic crouch dash, and I get the blue spark variation. Another thing that Heihachi gets while he has heat activated is that he can do down 3-2. That right there. This is particularly going to be useful at the wall at the end of a combo, so keep this in mind. Heihachi's punishers are the following. 10 frame, 1-1-2. 11 frame, 2-2. 12 frame, 1+2. Or forward 1+2. 13 frame, down forward 1-2. Or down forward 2-1. Also, if you're sharp, Electric Wind God Fist will start at 13 frames more or less, allowing you to get a launcher from that. 15 frame, down forward 3, 1+2, 1. While standing punishers. 10 frame, down back 1 jab. 11 frame, while standing 4-4. He can also go into stance after that. 13 frame, while standing 1. And as mentioned, you can follow this up with forward 4-2. Just like that. Or QCF2. Or even Omen Thunder God Fist. 15 frame, full crouch, down forward 2. This is a very good addition for Heihachi because now he can launch from crouch at 15 frames, so it's pretty sick. And that's going to do it for this introductory course of Heihachi Mishima. Overall, he's a solid character with strong moves and options that allow you to really put pressure on your opponent and take control of a match. Out of all the Mishimas, I think he's the most fun to play. As always, use this guide as a foundation, as building blocks so you can learn how to play the character, and then as time goes on, you will improve and improve and improve. And the most important thing is play and learn at your own pace and have fun. And with time, like I said, that improvement will come. Thank you all for watching. I hope everyone here has a good day. Stay safe out there. Take care. And I'll see you in the next video.